Sometimes when I'm watching a tutorial video, I say to myself, well, yeah, but how do you do that? Because the presenter has assumed that we know how to do something, and so they move on to something else, which of course is interesting and educational and learning process as well. But I was looking at this tutorial and saying, well, what are the items that I'm taking for granted that the viewer is aware of how to do? And I think the three things that I would say would be: one is the room legend, two might be the room schedule, and three would be the title block. All three things that that are important to the function of this presentation, and maybe knowledgeable on how to do it and maybe not. So the first thing is, let's look at the title block, because that's very simple. And so basically we say insert, load a family, and then we're going to go up to our main library and scroll through there, and we have a folder called title blocks, and we can pick any title block that we want that's available here, and we can modify them also. I use 11 by 17, so we could open that up. And what I've just done is loaded that into my project. So I can take this title block now and use the one that I just loaded into the project. Now, in order to modify this particular guy, I can simply highlight it and say edit the family. And then I can start modifying what's here. I don't need to put the Autodesk in there or their website. I can put some information about myself. Now, these don't need to be changed unless you want to change the size of the text or the style of the text. But once you've made your changes, let's just change this real quickly by just deleting it. Let's just take that out of there completely. See if we can do that. Yep, okay. Now when I load that into the project, I can overwrite it, and you can see that it's taken that out. Now, not really needing that one. I'll go back to mine, and you can see that basically I just customized that, and I put my name and my license numbers, and my website, phone number, email address, and some, glory pictures of some of the other projects that I've worked on. And so now, if I decide to change, say, for example, this to then that changed every sheet. So when I go to my basement plan, for example, look at that, it's there. So I can change, these are active labels, which will work on the entire project. So that's nice, because I can, this is a piece of information that I might want on every sheet, which is fine. Okay, so that's basically your sheets. You can load a sheet, and then you can identify which of those sheets you want to utilize. Okay, so that's title blocks. Pretty simple, I think. If I wanted to put a room legend in here, let's activate this view, and then we can go up to annotate, I think, and color fill legend. And now, there we go. And now, what are the space type that this legend is going to work with? And I simply say, well, it's going to work with rooms. And I'm not sure what the difference is here, but we'll say okay. So now I don't have any rooms defined. So let's go in and define a room just to see what happens here. So I'm going to see if I can make this guy a room. Let's see. Yeah, it's not enclosed, so apparently I can't make that a room. So we'll go back first to the room separator, and let's just put in a room right here using the room separator. Okay, now I'm going to go over to my room, and that should be a room. Okay, there we go. Now it starts to put that in there. It's telling me how many square feet. If I were to move that separator, it automatically calculates the square footage. And if I wanted to change the name of the room, there we go. So that's my room legend, and room by room, there we go. So room by room, as I add a room into my model, then it's going to list it here in the room legend. So the key there is to make sure to tell Revit that you want it to be listed by rooms. And then finally, the room schedule, which is probably the most complicated of the three things here, is schedules are incredibly powerful. So if we go up to our schedules here, and let's say I want to have a room schedule here. So let's make a new schedule. Now I can scroll down all the way down, and these are all of the types of schedules that we can make. And let's say I want to make a room schedule. Okay, so say okay to that. So now I have a room schedule. These are all the components or the fields that I can add into that. So if I want the room number, for example, which I have over there, I would say, all right, let's put a number and let's put a name. Okay, and then any other piece of information. Maybe I'm concerned about the base or the crown molding that would go around there. What's the perimeter of that room? And of course, I might want to know what level it's on. And let's also say we want to know there's my schedule now. This is telling me all of the rooms. These I can delete. I think let's try this and see if it'll let me. Nope. All right. So it didn't let me do it that way. But anyway, I think these are from the previous projects. You know, as I said, I use this template over and over again. So these are not placed. I should be able to get them out of there. Let's try it this way. So look at, I've said, what is the area? What level is it on? What's the perimeter? Now it's telling me the total perimeter if I wanted to know something like that. Of course, the room name. And then it's putting this in numerical order. So maybe I want to sort and group. The first thing I might want to sort by is the level. So it's going to put all the first floor level rooms, and then it'll put the second floor level. And if I wanted to put a footer, could give me some totals here. Might want to put a blank line there just for the space. And then maybe I want to sort by the number. All right, so let's see what happens when we do that. Look at that. Now I've got all of my first floor and all of my second floor. And if we take a look back here at the fields, I might say that the area is more important. So I can move that up. So I have the name, I have the number, and maybe the level will be the next important. And so just placing the fields puts it in order this way. Then of course, once you've got it done, you can simply grab it and put it into your sheet. So I have my first floor plan, which I'll be showing to my client. And look at what we have going on here, something a little weird. I'm gonna have to fix that because this is blending over. This is very strange, so we'll have to fix that. But then I have my room legends, which will tell me what the name of the rooms and the colors are, which is nice, but it's really not that critical because I do have the room names right there. But what is nice is that I have the ability to put the room numbers here and see it went to the basement level. Okay, so you can click on these guys and just make them a little bit bigger. Kind of like to make sure that there's only one. So I wanted to make that one row instead of two and say, here's a little bit of an issue. I want to, oops, it's the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. So I like to have each row only be one row. So I'll have to move that around a little bit to make it work. But see, this is what I'm trying to fix. But anyway, you can see that this is how we modify that. I'm gonna have to go back in and take a look at my floor plan and see what happened here. Why is this blending into there? So I'll work on that. But I wanted to show the three things here that really I took for granted that everyone knew how to do. Probably many of you already do. I don't need to have this tutorial, but these are the things that when I'm watching a tutorial and I go, yeah, well, kind of taken for granted that we know how to do that, and we really don't. So anyway, this will be the finished part of this tutorial. If you know these things, you didn't have to watch it. And so we'll stop right here.